Lights, camera, action. Welcome to the Scrapbook Podcast, Director's Cut.
So Rochambeau?
Yep.
Are we doing best 2 out of 3 or one and done?
One and done.
You better look me in my fucking eye.
I like how you do this shit every time we do Rochambeau.
1, 2, 3. So.
And boom, we're going to talk about dick.
Window.
All right, I want to bring you back to a story that we came up with while we talked about the scrapbook. When I brought you the idea, and I think you're kind of trying to get the nerves out to talk about it more, and to form it like it's a real thing before we even started recording. And it was the Black Pioneer Woman.
What was that?
So, she lived in the she lived on the prairie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black woman. Husband just died about 1.5 years ago. On the farm, right? There's about 5 or 6 animals. She yields a nice amount of milk. She has a couple sheep in that bitch, a couple eggs that she trades. But she has not told anybody that she has
lost her husband.
Okay,
I think I'm trying to remember.
Right? And so she does bargaining on his behalf. She's like, oh, her name is Linda, and her husband's name is Samuel.
She's doing it as Samuel.
Yeah, he's got a bit of the fever right now.
Yeah, and then that story runs dry.
That story runs dry real fucking quick, and they're just like, we don't do business.
Were people coming to get her for her shit once they found out that she was...
No. Let me... Right. So, she's doing business on behalf of Samuel. But quickly, that started to dry up. But she's making ends meet,
mm-hmm.
right? On a night like any other, right? She somebody stops by the house.
Mm-hmm.
He's this handsome, super black farmhand. He's like, I've been watching you for a week or so on the outskirts. I would like to apologize for that. I don't mean to upset you at all, but it seems like you need a hand here. And she's like, I've been doing this shit forever. You know what I mean? Like, I know your husband's not here. I saw you bury him. Right? No, because he's dead for 1.5 years. I see you visit his gravesite, so I know he's not here. It's okay. I'm not going to tell anybody, right? I just want to help you. So she's like, reluctantly, she needs the fucking help, and she's like, okay.
I'm remembering this in like bits,
But I'm stretching on it a lot more than what we came up with.
Okay.
Right. So, for 2 days he helps her, and he's bringing the farm up tenfold. The nigga knows a lot. He knows carpentry. He knows how to keep these niggas in line. You know what I mean? The animals and shit
mm-hmm.
like that. He taught her a way to irrigate the little bit of land that she has. You know what I mean? She can actually, he can actually hold on to the plow. Other than that, she kind of like, her hands aren't strong enough for that shit. The horse kind of takes off
mm-hmm.
with the shit every time. So it's undeveloped. He develops it over those 2 days, right? And she hasn't lain with a man. I hate to go the sexual way, but it'll all tie back, right? She lays with a man. She hasn't lain with a man in 1.5 years since her husband. And she doesn't touch herself at all. You know what I mean? She's a bit older, so that doesn't matter, but, you know. So she doesn't need sex like that. But in the night, she like walks in on the nigga. He's sleeping in the barn, as well as he should. He's not gonna sleep in the fucking house. You're a stranger. She walks in on the nigga washing. Big old horse dick. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you." He's like, "No, it's good, bro. Come on in." Right? And she's like, "I shouldn't be doing this shit, but fuck it." She brings him into the house. He lays a pipe. Right? Breaking backboards, bro. My nigga was dunking from the 3-point line. Right? And then that night, she dreams of the ocean. Right? She's never seen this vast land before, but the sound comes to her, and she's on the cliffside. Right? A seagull is just floating right above her. You know how they catch wind and then just kind of like hovering there, right above her. And she looks back, and there's a storm coming from that way instead of the water. And then she looks forward, and the waves are lost sound. And she looks back, and it's clear, right? She wakes up, the nigga's inside out, right by her. Inside Out.
I remember that. I like that you added so much to it.
Yeah, and this is all off the top of the head. I have not.
I know. I could see by your eyes.
I can tell by the question mark that you wrote down.
Oh no, I wrote because you gotta. It's a question. You got to question.
Okay.
Everything is a question. Every time you come here, I'm questioning. Can I do this?
Oh yeah, you can tell by my eyes. I'm just wandering around.
You're just everywhere. I can see you grabbing thoughts from the air. I'm like, all right, cool. It's working, and that works good.
Yeah.
We could probably take out the horse dick part. We could also do it more like the nigga helps mend her or something. Like he like she hurts her wrist doing something, and he just wraps it for her. And then his hands are strong like her husband's were.
Okay, instead of the horse dick part?
Instead of walking in and it's X and XX.
Blacks?
He's like, you like what you see? Yeah. Take.
Big old uncut.
You're like, nah.
Salami.
We could keep it real old school domestic style, where you just see her longingly look at him. They're holding hands.
And then over the fire,
and then it shows her her garb coming down a little bit past her shoulders, and then him going to kiss her neck, and then the light being blown out in the room. Keep it real fucking classy.
Okay,
she fucking loved her husband.
He's kissing her back. He sees whip marks on her back or some shit like that. I think that'd be pretty ill. This wasn't They weren't free people.
Oh, okay.
You know
so they're runaways.
Exactly.
Okay.
They Samuel was
also, this is clearly set in the what?
I said prairie.
Prairie does nothing for my time scale.
It doesn't?
No.
Little House on the Prairie?
I think 1990s. When I watched that, like in my head, I'm stupid to the point where I'm like, it was in the 50s. The 50s? Was it the 50s?
The nigga with the beautiful hair.
It was 1850s? Something like that? 1870s?
Yeah, around
that area?
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
You sneezed once, they're like, you gotta go.
Yeah, he's like, bro, you're gonna bring plague to our village. Okay, so yeah, that's more classy instead of the black.com.
But I do like how you led into that. I do like that. And this is what's fun about it is because where the fuck do you go when you're in a prairie?
Yeah,
you're far away. You can't get to any kind of store or your neighbor quickly.
Yeah,
you got to get horseback. You got to go get the horse. You're in your room. This motherfucker's bleeding all over your bed.
Yeah,
is he alive?
My thing is this, right? So here we go. Act 2. The disposal of the body. No, so
that was good. That was good. I like that.
So she wakes up so she's off the fucking rig. The dog is barking. You know what I mean? She's like, oh shit. And it's the nigga is inside out. His heart is on the outside of his body. You can't tell who it is. His face has been torn apart. His chest is wide open. His ribs are sticking out. All that shit. All of it fucked up. but he's laying exactly how she closed her eyes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So she's just like screaming and shit. She's putting on her clothes and shit like that. She's running outside, screaming into the wind. The wind just picking it up and carrying it off into nothingness, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so she's carrying she's like, I have to bury this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? A black woman with a body. They're going to be like, yo, she kills motherfuckers.
Because now you got two bodies on the property.
Exactly. You got two bodies, bro. And so she's like hastily digs some shit with her hand. So her hands, I don't see where you take it, but peep this. Hastily digs like with her hands. She's hoeing. She takes the hoe and fucking digs the shit. And she's like carrying out the body, right? And she pulls up the body. All of a fucking sudden, a few niggas she can see him in the distance. Like riding up. You know what I mean? She can't see like who it is exactly, but she sees motherfuckers riding up, 3 or 4 people. She pulls the body like right then and there, and she just like, oh shit, I have to wash my hands. So she like pulls the nigga into the back of the barn, right? On the side and the back, so you can't see it. So her house is here, visually, and the barn's back here, to back right.
And they're coming in from here.
Exactly. So she's like, washing herself, like straightens up and shit like that. Leaves his body right there. She knows where it is. It's right behind the barn, right here. Right.
And nobody's gonna go back there.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason to.
And she meets with. She's like, "Can I help you with something?" She's just like, is Samuel here? It's like he's fallen ill for a moment. Like
we'd like to see his body. We'd like to see him.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
He owes other debts.
Yeah. Ooh. And he's just like, I don't know of that. And he's like, well, I'm sorry that you don't know of your husband's, how would you say? Of your husband's illness, which was gambling. That's what they called it. You know what I mean? But he had a hard head. You know what I mean? So we're here to collect.
What if that's the second time they come? And what if in the beginning that happens right after she buries her husband, and then the dude comes and she's like, I need the help, and then they come again like, or do you have the money? And she's just like, I don't have all of it.
Okay.
That way it lead into her being willing to engage sexually with this person.
No. Not even. Look. So, as a thank you.
No. I'm saying like, if this dude slides through and he's just like, I can help you. In the moment that she needs help, it's gonna be a release of emotion.
Okay.
And then she's like, fuck, I can finally make this shit happen. He's doing what he needs. He's a strong worker, and he's not crazy. He's not a bad guy. And then she wakes him the next day with him inside out.
Right.
And then they show up like, hey, have you done what you said you're gonna do?
And she brings the little bit that she has.
Yeah, and they're just like,
we didn't count that as a down payment, but
exactly.
We expect everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And seeing how much you've done a day, I expect this, next time I come.
Exactly.
Really good work. They're like remarking on how like good it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's done talking with them. She goes back to the body, and it's just a pile of ashes. She's like, what in the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Right? Mm-hmm. So it's just blowing in the breeze. Just a pile of ashes and blowing in the breeze. And throughout her time, like, his horse is still there. Mm-hmm. His things are still there. You know what I mean? So she goes to his burlap fucking shit. Mm-hmm. His side saddle and shit. She's going through it. And it's just nothing but just crudely put together like dolls. There's like a string of like braided hair like about 3 or 4 feet long, but wrapped around this little like a bone. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
so it was like he was gonna kill her. I know
So
where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this.
so
I know. You son of a bitch. I know where you're going with this.
so she's like, all right, like what the fuck is it? And then she finds in there he has a long rifle and a pistol and a knife with all these little etchings inscribed into it. And it
Mm.
wasn't a knife made of steel. It was something else, more foreign. She was like, maybe it's bone, maybe it's rock. Like I don't fucking know, but this shit's weird. So she, instead of not the long rifle or the pistol, but everything else, burns that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whips the back of the horse's ass. Get your ass going. And then that nigga runs off into the prairie and shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she's going through this shit. And she's like trying to understand like what the fuck is going on, and all around the farm and shit, little things start to happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The fire is burning well into the day, into the next night, into the day, into the next night, without her even putting anything on the fire. Um, the seeds that he's laying are sprouting already, and some of them are bearing fruit within days of this shit happening. You know what I mean? And um, the female the female animals are bearing children. Like you know what I mean? Like they've been pregnant for the last past 4 months, however the fuck long animals are. And she's just like, oh, this is some dark shit here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every time she looks into the into like a mirror or some shit, she sees this nigga in the background, like nude as a motherfucker, just just staring. You feel me? And then she'll wake up from a dream of this nigga inside out or some shit like that, or walking upon it, um, and just like drums in the background of the shit, just deep ass like spiritual kind of dreams. You know what I mean? And she's bearing this fruit, taking this fruit, selling it, bartering for the shit to get more supplies, this and that. And she comes up with the money, the rest of the money that they came up with, right? And then that's when they're just like this is not enough. And she's like, this is the rest of the shit. She's like, do you have proof that you paid anything on this besides this right here? And niggas just like looking at each other, and she's like, "Oh, nigga, they're gonna fucking they're gonna try some shit." You know what I mean? So they press on. I mean, they're like arguing with her. They get off the horse and shit, and they are trying to R word. You know what I mean? Shit escalates. They're gonna take everything. You feel me? Everything that she has. When they through the conversation, she uses like a past tense for Samuel. Like he's not here at all. Like, okay, I can. You're just a woman here. Like, I can just take anything you fucking have. So that's what we're going to do, right? And so she's fighting. I'm running on fumes right now. She's fucking fighting her ass off, trying to, you know what I mean, get them the fuck off of her. She's like fish fighting these niggas, right? And they pull her down to the ground and shit, and the horses are going crazy, and the chickens are fucking clucking their asses off and shit like that. And it's just like all you feel is humidity, right? You know when rain's about to come because you feel it in the air, right? All you feel is humidity in the air, and just like her heart's just like beating out of her fucking chest, and she like gains the fucking strength of a whole ass nigga, right? She fights all these niggas off of her, you know what I mean? Crushing the skull of one nigga, you know what I mean? Kicking a nigga in his chest. Boom, nigga, hold that. pussy, right? And then she's like breathing and she's like looking at her hands, and they're nigga hands, right? She looks at herself. She's like what the fuck? Looks at herself, and she's that nigga. She is that guy. The guy that is the ashes that is floating away in the wind. That nigga has used black magic to become her, and that is how it ends. Fuck. Woo! Have to tie that shit around, bro. God damn.
That was a full ass story.
Yeah, man. And that's how he goes from fucking body to body. He's a dark spirit. That nigga uses black magic and shit. And he with like what the fuck is that one movie? With sex and shit, it just passes on from body to body.
The host, I think.
Yeah. Finds new shit to live in. But he planted his seed into the land the day he slept with her. You know what I mean? Instead of planting the seed in her, she's too old. You know what I mean? He took over her body as well as the land. And
so nobody sees her as this dude. She sees herself as a woman until she sees a mirror.
Until she sees a mirror, and that's when the shit is complete.
What if keep that same whole shit? What if there's times in the day when she does shit she shouldn't be able to do? Or she has a tendency that she never had before?
I want to chew tobacco or some shit like that.
Yeah, something that she saw him do, like the way he like slaps off something off of his pant. And she's like, ooh, I don't ever do that. And you start to see that this spirit's, she should start wanting different things. Like she should be like, do you want, this? And he's like, I like it like this. And she's like, oh, that's bitter. And then right after he dies, she starts liking it like that.
Exactly. Just like, damn. Or the way she's having it, she just like, she doesn't finish her meals, and then she starts to cut it a different way, or eating the gristle first before the...
And she never liked doing that.
Never liked doing that. She cuts off the gristle. She
hated when her husband smoked tobacco.
Yeah.
And now she's out on the porch after the day, just doing her damn thing.
Spitting that shit.
And she's like, how? And is she aware of this spirit taking over her?
No, she's like, everything that was foreign in that bag.
So at the end of the movie, she's more grizzled. At the end of the movie, she's coming at them like a grown man instead of a woman.
Exactly.
She's not pulling back. She's not skating around and beating around the bush. She's direct, like a man would be,
sharp
of his size.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we both got guns.
Yeah. So what's up?
I mean? So what's up? And they're just like, you're a woman.
It's like, I don't give a fuck. What's up? And then that's when you get off the horse. And that final... So on that dagger and shit, it read like, with blood, the transformation is done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to necessarily kill the nigga with the knife, but with this shit, it's complete. So she...
What if she scratches him during sex and kisses his cut?
All the transference. And he's like, yeah, that's how I like it.
Because he's just digging it out, doing whatever, he's doing. And she's wanted human touch for so long, wanted, like, affection and just another person's presence for so long that she gets animalistic with him, cuts him up a little bit, and then she's just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And the second that she does that, gonk.
Right? And then within that's why the drums are beating so fucking hard and shit like that.
And she's hearing it echoing the second she kisses him. She's like, you hear that? He's like, no. Well, what are you talking about? Puts on his shirt. She's like, you're not bleeding? He's like, not anymore, bitch. Puts on his shit. So does he act different? He lets her kill her. No. Why is he inside out, Joseph?
That's the caterpillar leaving the fucking cocoon.
Oh, turning into his real disgusting looking self.
he's transferred already in her. He's in her now.
Oh, so now he's just like a hollow.
He's in the land now. He's in that. So his bursting out of his skin and shit. Him floating into her. Him being in the land into her. Until, you know what I mean?
So if you're gonna do that dream about her seeing the cliff, and then seeing the ocean that she's never seen before,
mm-hmm.
and then looking back, seeing a storm, looking back, no lost sound. You look back, and then it's clear.
Yeah.
You have to reiterate that throughout the rest of the story.
That's,
in moments when he's taking over her and when she's waking up, she's just hearing the sound of the ocean and then the stillness of a scene, and then it opens up with her doing some shit and acting as him or some shit.
That's kind of what I wanted. The dreams. She had like maybe 5-6 dreams.
Are these dreams during the day or dreams at night? Is she still on a regular sleep schedule?
No. So the land is pretty much tending to itself,
which is horribly unnatural.
So you leave your circadian rhythm is off because circadian. I said Sharkadian, huh? Yeah. Sarcadian. So she doesn't have that needing to. I have to tend to my plants,
mm-hmm.
like on a mental level, like. But she's just like, okay, so it's kind of like.
Every time she wakes up, the plants are better.
Yeah, so the land is like letting her, like the transfer over. You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? And
are the plants actually growing?
Yeah, the plants are growing.
But she's actually giving them to people. That's blood.
Yeah.
That's like you're giving out a piece of flesh to somebody, right? Is he spreading himself that way? Because he's plowing shit and making shit happen that he did for one day before he was turned inside out.
Yeah. And that's him sweating into the land. You know, your blood, sweat, tears. Sweating into the land, tears in the land, blood into the land. He's transferred himself into the soil. Now it's into her to take her as the host.
Okay. And then seize the land, take it, do what with it?
That's just his now. That's how he...
And then he just lives until she's dead and then goes on to the next.
Yeah, and then there's no she anymore. She's gone. She's him.
Okay.
Her bones, it is changing to him. That is who it is now. But that's just his. That's how he moves about the land. He doesn't own anything until that time is, until the earth has used what he's given into it, the blood, the sweat. It's like how you rotate crops. You plant those lima beans, then turn over the fucking land. That's how you turn it over. And so now that it's time to turn over the land, those abilities have been lost to that plot of land, and he moves on to another to bleed into the land again and fucking reap what he put into it.
Is this a horror, a thriller?
It's terror.
Terror?
Yeah.
So then there has to be points where, what if when she fully becomes him, like, there's a mirror image and she sees the people that he's killed. Because if she sees him, she killed him on accident, right?
No.
How did he die?
His transference that's how he dies.
No, but so he's there one day and then he just turns into like being inside out. We
right.
The explanation at the end of the movie is that he was transferring into her body, so he left his humanly vessel.
Yes.
Right? So did he kill that nigga that he was in, or is that him?
That's him.
So he appears that to everybody every single time.
Exactly. That's why she looks in the mirror and sees him, and that's why at the end she is him. That is who she sees.
And so she should see at that point when she is him, her in the background.
Ooh, yeah.
Because now you're the mirror. Like, I killed you. I got you.
Yeah.
You're in my back pocket now. You're one of the things I took.
Mm-hmm. It's more so suspense, Jordan Peele type shit, where it's kind of like it makes you sick watching it, kind of thing. Instead of being like full terror, which is the imagery, well, imagery of a fucking dead body inside out, that'll fuck you up. Uh, but yeah,
You're going for more like a psychological thriller,
yeah. But
more
since
than
it's
terror,
since it's
because
the imagery and the death in it, then it's technically terror.
but if the imagery isn't overly grotesque,
It is over grotesque inside out body. That's fucked
but
up.
that's the one time though.
It's repeatedly through her dream she sees it.
Okay.
The niggas that she tears their face apart, crushes their skull, kicks a nigga, all that shit. That is seen through the whole thing. It wasn't. It's not cut away.
Oh, okay. So you see like the balance of life and death, real viscerally,
Yeah.
like right up to okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you call that?
Little House on the Prairie. That's what it's gonna be called.
There's gonna be a lot of legal things we have to, a lot of red tape, a lot of red tape around that one.
No. We spell prairie different.
You put low.
Yeah. That shit. Jordan Peele's new movie is called Nope, and I think that's genius. So I'm gonna name some shit like that, like Everburning. That's what this shit's gonna be called. His fire never goes out. Well, until it's the end of the cycle.
What about like, uh, I got it right there, but I probably don't. Fuck it.
Bada bing, bada boom. And that's what happens when you win rock paper scissors, y'all. Thanks for listening to the director's cut. You know the spiel. You know the deal. Later.
Deuces.